And this fight finally concludes between Gintoki and Bato. Wait a minute, I haven't been talking about this series for about a fucking month. What the fuck? Where did all of that just go from? So yes, if you guys have noticed, I think the last time I even did a Gintama chapter review was, I'd like to say it was like the 20th, or I believe the 22nd of December. It was a while ago when I did it, and I've been keeping up with like my anime reviews of it, obviously, because, you know, that stuff is the absolute fucking tits. And a lot of people have been wondering, where have these reviews been going? Like, why haven't I talked about Gintama in a month? And I think, like, I've been doing it very inconsistent. I think the last one I did, like, was like 569, and then I took a week off from that, and then a week off from that, and that, like, is the actual reason for it. Mainly, it has nothing to do with the material as well, although I will get onto that as well. It's mainly because the manga just comes out at the most ridiculous times, and there's not a concrete day. If it was on a concrete day, like, say, like Black Clover, I know the chapters are going to come out every time at 6 in the afternoon, right there and then, on Mondays. There you go, right there, that's fine. I'd perfectly be fine, you know, doing every chapter. You know me, guys, I fucking adore this series. It's so fucking good, like, for the stuff that's got in there. However, it's just like, whenever it comes out on random days at, like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 in the morning, you know, I'm tired. I don't want to be, like, doing this chapter review, and oh, I'll put it on for tomorrow, and then other stuff gets involved. Like, you know, it's just a mess and all that. It's a lot of it's due to my fault, and also as well, the timing as well. And not to mention as well, like, to get on the whole thing about the quality, like, I've actually been checking a lot, seeing, like, how people have been finding this fight, actually, with, like, Gintoki does it, and I've been getting a lot of actually negative feedback from a lot of people saying, oh, man, this fight was too quick, low, what the fuck, man, this wasn't exciting, oh, like, I think this is the whole little misconception of what people, or maybe, like, people have got their, like, bars so high for Gintama, and I know that's a thing, it's a fucking quality series at that, but we just came from, I'd like to say, so much good shit we just had from the Farewell Shinsengumi arc, which was amazing. And we came from, also as well, like, the entirety of, like, the insanity of what was the Gintoki versus Takasugi fight in the giant, like, invasion of the Shogun assassination arc. And I feel like a lot of what happened, like, since, like, the past, like, what, 2 months, maybe 3 at that, like, we've just been focusing on Katsura's fight, we've been saying, like, Katsura, like, all of their fights right now, and Gintoki's fight as well, and then people are like, oh, like, the way he finished them off, like, I had a couple of laughs with this, like, fight, I'm not gonna lie, even this one, when he just went straight into Bato, and he's like, oh, yeah, I always get to read their mind, like, when they're empty, so I can finish the swipe and all that, and the one thing that we saw from this, like, when he was reading, like, his mind and all that, the one thing that just, like, Gintoki don't give a fuck is, like, he don't care about, like, oh, I'm gonna die, and all that. It's just like, man, I wonder what, if, like, I really fancy having eggs tomorrow for breakfast. This is just like, you're having a fight to the death, and he's like, I could go for sunny side up, really. Like, you know, motherfucker, like, what are you doing? Like, the way that he was actually able to, like, trick Bato and, like, do all this shit, and then you, like, of course, the traditional Gintoki manly speech at the end, like, I love that shit, but I think people are raising their, like, bars so high now for Gintama, and I think, like, you need to tone that down. Like, after, like, that's very rare in a series where you get a 10-on-10 arc, then you get another 10-on-10 arc straight afterwards, and now we're getting an 8. We're getting an 8 to 7. Like, I think people just need to calm down on the whole, like, situation with, like, Gintama. Like, you know, I will love it. I always will love this series, and I do want to get back into the chapter reviews and keep doing it weekly because I enjoy doing it. And it was like, it's nice that I'm like one of the first few people that were actually talking about the manga back in the day. And it's like rare to see that. I love that there are more fans now for both the anime and the manga these days. I absolutely do. It was an absolute graveyard like beforehand that we couldn't actually talk about Gintama. But it's like, now it's fucking great. I mean, I know this turned out more to be like a little discussion than the actual chapter review itself, but yeah, I felt like I just had to really get myself off that chest with like the whole situation that's been going on. I mean, the entire fight from what we saw and all that, like one thing I loved is like, he even tried to fight Utsuro as well from what we saw, but like Bato. And the thing that was great about it, that fight, like when we found out about that reason, the reason he couldn't even beat him is because that man was empty from the start. Like, he had nothing, no emotions, nothing, just kill. Just, that's it. And I'm thinking, like, what the fuck is it? Like, what is Utsuro? And if people don't know, Utsuro actually just means, like, nothingness, empty shell. Like, there's nothing there. And I feel like, from what we've been keep asking all that, and Gintoki's, I get looking for that answer, it's like, I think he just needs that confirmation. He didn't have enough time to, like, process it. who is like, you know, what happened to the master that I knew, like what went down after the whole situation that I took, and like, is there even an inkling of like the man that I knew and I adored and I respected all those years ago? And that's why like we're kind of ramping up to like this big clash now. And also as well from what we saw, the Umibos just fucking cleaning house. Oh my god, that man is a fucking monster. He just does not stop going in against these guys. There's ships on the fucking ground and shit. Like, the guy's insane. Like, the guy is a fucking monster. And I really can't wait to see more of Umibozu, because it's definitely prompting up that there's going to be some real big stuff with him coming in the near seeing future. And also as well with the ending of the chapter as well, we did get to see like Takasugi like group trying to get him to flee and all that, and him getting shot down by one of the ships, and he's now on his own. So I'm guessing this is probably now the time that we are going to probably see Takasugi rise, or someone's going to say maybe Kagura might be the one that actually picks him up with her group. Maybe we might see them like all come out with the Kihete. Like, I don't actually know what's going to go down too much of that, but I am looking forward to that. And also as well, I am very much looking forward to the next episode that we will be having tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to just the conclusion. Just so much goodness, and we've still got a lot more amazing stuff coming in, like the Shogun assassination arc, because that arc is just going to be fucking fantastic, and I am curious about what they are going to do. Are they just going to go straight into like the next arc? Are they going to leave some? Because they're definitely doing a lot of the other arcs that they've left behind in OVA, so it keeps, you know, prompting that whole Gintama finishing thing. But it's like, if this was about like, well, the anime was about like 8, 9 parts, I'm guessing this is what they probably want to do like that. I'm guessing like the same thing would be happening with the next arc after as well. But we'll have to wait and see. We just came back from an amazing episode of like episode like 39, 304 with the Gintoki versus Takasugi like clash, and not to mention as well 305 with the finale to that part, and just the reveal. Like, I can't wait for that. Like, it was an absolutely amazing part. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I personally enjoyed this chapter, like, for the most part, for what it was. I have been a little bit mixed on the whole stuff going on, if I'm just going to give you a little bit of a recap for that. The whole fight, I thought it was good. I enjoyed like this one. I think this was the most enjoyable fight out of them all. I think then the second one was Katsura. Like, I definitely like those ones. It's kind of went in that order of like fighting, but it's like, yeah, I think they're good, and I think people are kind of raising their like brow way too high to like the bar. It's like, you know, we haven't got to the fucking amazing god, like not everything in the Shogun assassination, although for how short that arc was, I think it was like 13 chapters, it was fucking 10s on 10s like near every week and all that. But not everything in Gundam has to be 10s on 10s, you know, we love it for what it is. But that's all from me. I was thanking you much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.